Today we got game week 37 predictions and we got some crazy games coming up and I'm going to be telling the predictions. So let's get right into the video. So guys, let's start with the first game. So the first game we got Tottenham against Burnley. We got 5th position against 17th position. And with Tottenham, what a game against Liverpool. Like, to go away at Anfield and to get a monumental draw in the top 4 contention is very important. And they could have easily won that game. Yes, Liverpool had more possession, but that's how Antonio Conte's football works. He doesn't have a lot of possession. They play quick counter-attacking football, and you could see how he had a tactical masterclass, and they should have really won. And going into the North London derby, they couldn't have dropped points against Liverpool, because imagine they dropped points against Liverpool, they could be 6 points behind going to the North London derby. But during the week, Tottenham got a very tough game against Arsenal, who are also going for top 4. So if they go and beat Arsenal right now on Thursday, they could actually be going into going to this Burnley game, they could be I believe 2 points of Arsenal, and if Arsenal go and lose on the weekend, it could be very good for them. The last 3 games are very important for Tottenham because they need to win every single game, in my opinion. And Son is only now 2 goals away from Salah. I think Salah's on 22 goals for this season. Son's on 20 goals, so if he goes and bags a couple in the North London derby, he goes and bags a couple against Burnley, he could easily be the next man for the Golden Boot. And Salah has been he hasn't been the best right now, like more the likes of Jota, Firmino, Luis Diaz have been banging more goals for Liverpool. Salah's stopped in his way. He was banging so many goals at the start of the season, now he's taking his break. But with Tottenham, as I said, every game is important. They need to win every single game in order to make sure they win the top 4. To go and beat Arsenal midweek in the North London derby and to go and beat Burnley. But let's move on to Burnley. Burnley, after having a great form of run, winning the last 3 games, the form finally came to a stop. They lost pretty convincing to Aston Villa, and Aston Villa haven't been the greatest away this season. And with Burnley, they're in such a relegation battle right now, where Everton have actually crawled themselves out of the relegation battle after having a huge win against Leicester and finally overcoming the terrible away record. And now it looks like either Leeds and Burnley are on contention. Yes, Everton could be back in the relegation zone, but I feel like they ain't gonna be that team. And with Burnley going and losing to Aston Villa, it wasn't the right thing to do, and losing convincing fashion 3-1 is not the best thing. And now what makes matters worse is that they're going away, and they haven't been the best away this season. They've, I think, registered something like 2 wins and 8 losses away. So going against Tottenham, a team who are pushing for top 4, and then having a poor away record, it's not going to be looking good for Burnley. So this is why my score predictions for this game is going to be 3-1 Tottenham. So guys, the next game I have is Wolves against Norwich. We've got 8th position against 20th position, and what a game Wolves had against Chelsea. To go and concede 2 goals within the space of 2 minutes, and then to go and get a monumental draw. And this draw was very important for Wolves because they lost the last 3 games in a row, and they really needed a boost morale. And going forward, I feel like that draw against Chelsea was so important. To concede 2 early goals, to concede 2 goals within 2 minutes to Lukaku, then Trincao and Conor Cody to score in the 85th minute and the 90+7th minute. What a fucking game. And I feel like Wolves could have actually won that game, because after Lukaku went off, Chelsea didn't know what to do, and Wolves were ripping apart into Chelsea. And it really shows where Chelsea are at this point as a club. Yes, they score goals, but they concede goals recently. And like a manager like Thomas Tuchel, it's not his fault. Chelsea has just been poor defending, but props to Wolves. And I feel like Wolves, this draw could actually be the spark of some winning games they need, because they're only 5 points away against West Ham, who are in 7th position currently. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough for them. I feel like they've had a great season. This game doesn't mean a lot, but I feel like the likes of Yang In-chan, who's with 5 goals right now, Jimenez with something like 6 goals, they could just increase the goal tallies. And against Norwich City, I feel like they could win. And let's move on to Norwich. With Norwich, what can I say? This year is just a year to forget. I feel like they have to go back to the Championship, reevaluate, and come back up and actually make the current signings. Because as I said in every previous week, with Norwich is this endless cycle where they go up and down every season. And I don't know what to say. Like, defensively they've been poor. They've been struggling to score goals. Yes, Timo Pukki's got 10 goals in the league this season, but he's the only one who's been scoring. And even then, you expect more from him. And it's just been Norwich's been this season. So I have no hopes for Norwich going into this game. That's what my score prediction for this game is going to be. 2-0 Wolves. Guys, the next game we have is West Ham against Man City. We got 6th position against 1st position. And with West Ham, it was so sad what happened in midweek in Europe. Finally, after a great run, they lost to Frankfurt. And yeah, they deserve to lose. Yes, there's a video of Declan Rice saying, the ref's a cheat, he doesn't know how to ref. I just felt like he was just a bit angry that West Ham didn't really show more art. But what Mikel Antonio said to that fan, yes, I got money, you don't. That was so funny. He's just classical Mikel Antonio. But to go and win 4-0 in the weekend against Norwich, I feel like that was very important. Because in the league, West Ham weren't doing that much. They were dropping points left, right and centre. I feel like in the last 5, I think they got 2 draws, 2 losses. And I feel like the proper last win was against Everton in the league. So this was very important for them. And I feel like after losing in Europe, they needed a big morale boost. And that morale boost came against Norwich when they won 4-0 in convincing fashion. But are they going to do a lot against Man City? I don't think so. Man City are so focused on the league. Recently them having an even worse midweek in Europe against Real Madrid, where they conceded 2 late goals and then Benzema scored, and now they're not in the final. They're bottled in Europe. So they don't want Man City to win, and right now, when Liverpool dropped 2 points against Tottenham and they went and beat Newcastle 5-0, I feel like Man City are just in tunnel vision right now. They're going to win every single game in my opinion. And I feel like they have the threshold against Liverpool, and I don't think they're going to drop any points against West Ham. West Ham are a quality team. David Moyes has signed the likes of Jared Bowen, Soufal, Soucek. All of them are great. They're great players, and I feel like West Ham in the future, everyone's going to do well. But against Man City, I don't think so. Look at Man City. To go and beat Newcastle 5-0 at home. Yes, Newcastle at the start of the season, yes, anyone could beat Newcastle. But now look at Newcastle. They have Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe knows how to make sure his team is very stable. He knows how to set up a team very well. Under the likes of Bruno Guimaraes, the likes of Joel Linton, Almiron, Chris Wood. So Newcastle do have a decent team. But Man City just absolutely ran through them, and you could see they were just dialed in. And I feel like this is going to be the same thing against West Ham. Man City are just going to be dialed in, so my score prediction for this game is going to be 2-1 City. So guys, the next game we have is Watford against Leicester. We got 19th against 14th. And I don't know what to say with Watford. How can you think coming up to the Premier League that you can have the same squad and play in the Premier League? You can't do that. And I feel like Watford could have easily stayed up this season. They have quality players, the likes of Emil Dennis, Joshua King, João Pedro, Sarr. Like, it's not like they have a bad team. Musa Sissoko, Ben Foster. But I just haven't signed enough defenders this season. And I feel like that's what's let them down. They have been scoring goals, but they've been conceding a shitload of goals as well. And coming into the Premier League, yes, Championship players are good, but Championship and Premier League is 2 different gravy. And you can see that's what's happened to Watford. They've tried their best, but they just haven't signed the right players. And that's what many teams which come up have the problem. Yes, they get the Premier League money, but the owners will take out the money and they won't spend the money in the right places. And this is what exactly happened to Watford. So going losing to Crystal Palace in the last game was just a representation of how the season has been to them. Yes, relegation was a certainty after a while. They had a couple of good games here and there. Yes, they beat Man United, when Oli got sacked. But after that, they've been pretty shit. But let's move on to Leicester. Leicester have been pretty ass this season. They've lost the last 3 and drawn 2 in the last 5. So it's not been looking good for them. And with Leicester, they had their focuses on the Conference League. But to go and lose midweek against Roma are a very good team, and their setup was very well with a very good manager called Jose Mourinho. And I knew Leicester weren't going to win that game. I think Leicester only had a chance if they won in the King Power Stadium by 2-3-0, because going away in I don't know the Roma Stadium, but going away in the Roma Stadium, they weren't going to come back. And thus Roma just played exceptional. And Leicester, to go and lose to Everton in the weekend at home was just a bit disappointing in my opinion. Everton have had the worst away record this season. Like, the last win was against Brighton in, I believe, August 2021. And to go and give them the first away win, this was really bad. So, my score prediction, I feel like this game is not going to be a great game in my opinion. I feel like it's going to be a stalemate game. I feel like it's going to be a 2-2 draw. Guys, let's move on to the next game. So the next game, we got Leeds against Brighton. We got 18th position against 9th position. And let's start with Leeds. What a season for them. It's just been up and down, left and right, side to side. But with Leeds, I feel like they're going to be going down this season. And the only reason I feel like they're going to be going down, I feel like it's going to come to goal difference. And early this season, Leeds have conceded a shitloads of goals. The current goal difference is minus 35. And this is the problem with Michael Bielsa's suicide football. Yes, they scored a shitload of goals, but they conceded a shitload of goals. And under Jesse Marsch, yes, they had good games against Southampton. They played okay against Everton, against a few other teams. But in the last 2 games, they conceded 4 goals against Man City. Yes, it's Man City at the end of the day. And then to go and concede 2 goals against Arsenal and have a red card, it's not looking good for them right now. And I feel like they need to beat Brighton. And Brighton are going to be a tough team to beat. And with Leeds, yes, they have the qualities of Dan James, Rafinha, Darius. But look at Brighton. To go and beat 4-0 against Man United, go and win 4-0 against Man United, it was unreal. And they dominated every part of the ball. And yes, Brighton are not the best at home, but they've proved why they are just different to Man United. Like with Man United, we didn't have any chances. They were scoring goals left, right, centre. Krukela, I believe, getting his first goal in the season. Danny Welbeck scoring a goal against us. And we didn't know what to do. Defensively, we were just broken. And you have to give props to Brighton. They passed the ball very well. Yes, Man United had more possession, but they were okay with having the possession because they had more shots. Yes, Bruno should have scored goals, but at the end of the day, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And Brighton finished exceptional. And I feel like this is going to be a problem for Leeds. So, my score prediction for this game is going to be, I feel like Brighton are going to win this. Brighton have been better away this season than at home. And that shows where Man United at this point as a club. So, my score prediction, I feel like it's going to be a 3-1 Brighton. So guys, let's move to the next game. So the next game, we got Aston Villa against Crystal Palace. We got 11th position against 10th position. And with Aston Villa, they finally got 2 back-to-back wins. And before the Norwich game, I think the last win was against 3rd April against Leeds. So they needed a win. But after the Norwich game, they have gone and beaten a Burnley side who have actually been on decent form of run recently. Like, to go and beat a Burnley team who won the last 3, it wasn't easy. And Aston Villa are not the best away from home. I feel like this season they only won, I believe 2 games away, and I think they've lost something like 8 or 9 games away, so it wasn't looking good. I predicted that Burnley were going to win that game, but Aston Villa, props have to be given where props were due. To go and beat to go and win in a convincing fashion of 3-1. Ollie Watkins getting back in the score sheet with what I believe now with 11 goals of this season. Danny Ings, yes, he's been injured for some of the games this season, but to go and score, I believe 2-2 in his last 2 is very important. But next season, I feel like Aston Villa need to do better. But can they keep the likes of Philippe Coutinho? I don't think so. And let's move to Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace getting a very, very good win in the technically a London derby against Watford, because people classify as Watford against a London borough. So technically a London derby, but I don't think so. But to go and beat Watford in convincing fashion and to put them down, I feel like it was very important. And Palace have actually been very good this season. The first couple of games they were pretty poor, but coming up then, ever since they signed the likes of Conor Gallagher, who's on loan from Crystal Palace, Wilfried Zaha, who's got I believe 10 goals this season, Conor Gallagher with 8 goals this season, they have been unreal. The likes of Jordan Ayew, Christian Benteke, Eze, all of them have been so good. And I feel like Crystal Palace is going to win this game against Aston Villa. Yes, Crystal Palace don't have the best away record, but I feel like Crystal Palace are just on one recently. After losing in the FA Cup semi-final, I feel like it was very sad for them. But after that, they've been on a decent form of run. And I feel like Palace just have something in them to beat Aston Villa. I feel like when you put 2 teams head-to-head, it's going to be a tough fixture. But I just feel like Aston Villa will... No, I feel like Crystal Palace will just edge this one. So my score prediction is going to be 1-0 Palace. So guys, the next game we have is Everton against Brentford. We've got 16th position against 4th position. And let's start with Everton. What a couple of games. To go and beat Chelsea and then to go and finally overcome that terrible away record against Leicester City and winning 2-1. They're now 1 point clear of the relegation zone, having a 1 game in hand. And it looks like it's looking a bit scary for Burnley and Leeds right now. And Everton, what a turnaround, as I said. Yes, the game against Chelsea, they didn't do really well. They got dominated, but as I keep on saying that, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And guess how they finished? They finished winning the game, Richarlison getting the goal and getting 3 crucial points. But the most important thing they got is that finally overcoming that terrible away record. after finally going away to the King Power and actually getting a 2-1 win. And once again, yes, Leicester dominated the possession. Leicester had more shots. But as I said again, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And we could see in that game, Everton were just conveying the chances and Leicester looked a bit lackluster. And with Leicester, don't have anything to worry about, because the only thing they had to worry about is the Conference League. They could get to the Europa League via the Conference League, but to go and lose to Roma, and to go and play on Thursday, to go and then play again on a Sunday, it's very difficult. And whereas Everton didn't have that, where they played last Saturday or last Sunday, I forgot, against Chelsea, to come and have fresh legs, where most of the Leicester players are actually probably jet lagged a little bit. They're very tired. They're not fatigued from the Roma game. So Everton did very well. And I feel like this game against Brentford, they have to at least get a draw or win at most. I feel like the win is most important. And with Everton, they've gained most of the points this season away. They've gained most of the points at home this season, getting 10 out of the 12 wins at home. But let's move on to Brentford. Brentford, what a game against Southampton. To go and lose Monday against a Man United side who aren't doing very well, and to get losing in convincing fashion 3-0, that was a bit sad to watch. Yes, Man United played well in that game. Juan Mata got a nice goal, Ronaldo got a nice goal, Bruno Fernandes got a great goal. But to go and overcome that, and to go and beat Southampton in convincing fashion 3-0, where they dominated the whole game, in my opinion. Ponson getting a great goal. Who else? I feel like no got a Mumembo scored another 2. It was a great game from them. They outclassed Southampton, and going to this game, they need to do the same. Brentford are actually coming up this season. I didn't know a lot about Brentford, but the more I watch them, they look at the likes of Ivan Toney, look at the Mumambo, look at Christian Ogard, look at Ponson. All of them are unreal, and they stayed up very, very well. They have bought the right players. They actually had a good squad coming into the Premier League. So like some teams, you don't need to sign them, but even then, as I say, Brentford went and signed some crucial players, and they have a manager who can convert. So my score prediction for this game, I feel like Everton are going to win. I feel like Everton are on a good form of run, and they have a very, very good home record where they've gained 10 out of the 12 wins at home. So my score prediction is going to be a 2-0 Everton. So guys, the next game we have is Newcastle against Arsenal. We've got 14th position against 4th position. And let's start with Newcastle. After winning three in a row, the last 2 games have been pretty difficult for them. And the last 2 games have been against the top 2. Losing one against Liverpool, okay, yes, it was a close scoreline, but the game was pretty comfortable for Liverpool. And then to go and lose 5-0 against Man City, it was Man City. Like, Man City going for them, because they lost midweek against Real Madrid, right now the only thing they need to worry about is the league. And they don't want to drop any points, because Liverpool were, at that point when on Sunday, Liverpool were only 1 point behind, and they dropped 1 point. They dropped 2 points on Saturday against Tottenham. And Man City just went out there and dominated left, right and centre. And yes, Newcastle had a little bit of chances at the first 10 minutes, but after that, it was just Man City domination. They got opened up. They got done with no consent, in my opinion. And Newcastle, it's going to be a tough game against Arsenal. But the one thing which I feel like what can really be a big game to Newcastle is that the home support. Ever since the takeover was happening, and ever since the Saudi money has come in, the team has been changed up. Look at how Eddie Howe has come in, and yes, they've spent money, but look at the quality of players they've got. Bruno Guimaraes, yes, he was a bit unknown before he came to Newcastle, but look at what he's done. He has been monumental to them. Joe Linton was done about 6 months ago. No one wanted it, and guess what happened after that? He's revitalized himself. And with Eddie Howe, everyone knows that his team knows. Everyone knows the roles. Everyone knows what they do. They're a very compact team. They're very well set up team. So for Arsenal, it's going to be a very, very tough game. But with Arsenal, what a weekend for them as well. To go and beat Leeds, and currently they're 4 points clear going into North London derby. So if they go and beat Tottenham in the North London derby, they could be 7 points clear, and then pretty much top 4 is Arsenal, in my opinion. But they need to go and they have to make sure minimum they need a draw against Tottenham, because if they go and lose against Tottenham, the gap will just go to 1 point. And if Arsenal goes and loses against Newcastle on the Sunday, it's going to be lights out for them, in my opinion, because Tottenham have a very easy game, in my opinion, against Burnley, who are yes, they have had a decent form of run, but Arsenal need goals. And I just want to say, Arsenal this season have played really good football. Look at the like of Bukayo Saka with 10 goals this season, Smith Rowe with 8 goals. Look at El Neni. El Neni's been vitalized. Granit Xhaka has been quality. Look at Tomiyasu, he knows how to play the ball really well. He's so strong. Ben White, Gabriel, everyone's been so good. And now they're going to go and sign the likes of Gabriel Jesus in the summer, which I feel like is going to be a great signing for them. So, in my opinion, this game's going to be very close. I feel like Newcastle will put the pressure on them, but won't be enough. I feel like Arsenal are going to win this game 1-0. Guys, let's move on to the last game. So the last game we got Southampton against Liverpool. We got 15th position against 2nd position. And let's start with Southampton. Yes, they have been okay ever since the international break has finished a long time ago, but they've been pretty poor in my opinion. In the last 5, they lost 3, only won 1 against Arsenal, where Arsenal should have done better and Arsenal should have really drew. And they've drawn against Brighton, but they've been pretty poor, Southampton, in my opinion. I feel like the likes of James Ward-Prowse has saved them. And when I was watching the Sunday game against Man City against Newcastle, I saw a stat that Southampton have scored the most set pieces. Imagine James Ward-Prowse has scored probably 100% of all the set pieces for them. So imagine he wasn't there. Where could Southampton be in this current position? Not great. I feel like James Ward-Prowse has saved them, but the game against Brentford, they just got dominated. And even the game before against Crystal Palace, they got dominated in both games, losing 2-0 to Crystal Palace. They're losing 3-0 to Brentford. It's not been looking good for Southampton in my opinion, and I don't know what to say about them. Like, they do well in some games, then they'll go and play shit in other games. Like with Southampton, it's like one end of the spectrum to another. Either they are really good one day, they'll go and beat Arsenal, or they'll go and lose to Brentford 3-0, go and lose to Chelsea 6-0. And I don't know what to say. Like, it's like probably being a Southampton fan, it was probably the worst thing ever. Like, because the highs and lows which you get, it's like, you know, those graphs which you get, like the weight distribution graphs, it's going to be like that. It's just going to be terrible for them. But let's move on to Liverpool. Liverpool this season, they've been so close. And if Man City didn't have the squad depth, which they have every single season, Liverpool would be winning by a country mile. But it's just so sad that Man City are a team when Liverpool are around. Because Liverpool, look at their team. The likes of Sadio Mane, the likes of Mo Salah, the likes of Luis Diaz, the likes of Diego Jota. All of them. The likes of Jordan Henderson, Fabinho, Joel Matip, Virgil van Dijk. All of them are so good and they should at least deserve another title. But look how just Man City are just so dominant, and they have like 3 different squads. It's just why City are not winning more. And something which I really enjoyed, which Pep Guardiola I didn't expect from him, because Pep Guardiola is normally a very nice man, an articulated man. He doesn't really send shots, but he sends shots. Liverpool are great in the European Championship, but they only won 1 time in the last 30 years, which is very true in my opinion. Which is true, but the game against Tottenham, Liverpool just looked a bit lackluster. They did have chances, but Tottenham overcame the chances, and Tottenham should have really won there. I feel like Liverpool got away with one. I feel like Liverpool really got away with one. They should have really lost. And I feel like their focuses are going to on Saturday. Liverpool are going to be playing Chelsea in the FA Cup final, so that's going to be a very tough game for them as well. And they're going and playing on Tuesday. Are they going to be ready to a Southampton team which is going to be pretty well rested coming into that Tuesday game? So in my opinion, I feel like Liverpool will get the win, but it'll be a close win. So I'm going to go 1-0 Liverpool. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope everyone enjoyed the video. These are my Game Week 37 predictions. Hope everyone enjoyed it. Everyone put your predictions in the comments, and I will see you later. Peace.